What is going on, Trash Talkers? We're back with another episode for you. Today's video, we're going to give you our predictions for NFL breakout stars. All that and much more coming your way right now! All right, Nick, as we get ready for the start of the 2021 NFL season, we have some interesting names that have been brought to our attention that could possibly be breakouts this year. And I'm really excited for a lot of these guys, and some I'm higher on than others. But I wanted to kind of give our viewers an idea of which players they should be on the lookout for this season. So why don't you start us off and give us your first breakout player of the season?
My first breakout this season, my favorite player on my list, Naji Harris, the running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Look, it's simple. If you saw Le'Veon Bell back in 2017 in this offense, he was unstoppable in the run and the pass game. I think that becomes the case for Naji Harris, but then some. I think he's a better rusher, a better receiver. I think that this offense is ready for him. I think that they chose him for a reason, and I think that they're ready to fully ingrain him in this offense. The wide receivers are the decoy. He is the real weapon on this offense, and I think that he is going to be forgotten because he is a rookie. I fully expect him to dominate for the Pittsburgh Steelers, to put up massive numbers, unbelievable stats this season, and he will be one of the biggest names we hear after the 2021 season.
Najee Harris has a lot on his plate in Pittsburgh. He's going to be a receiving back. He's going to work between the tackles and have a lot of opportunity to break out this year. So I'm excited to watch him. Another player I'm excited to watch is on my favorite football team, and that would be Damien Harris. Damien Harris, coming out of the University of Alabama, like Najee Harris, is just one of those guys that he just lights it up anytime he gets the football in his hands. And I even beg to say that I think Damien Harris is the best Patriots running back since Curtis Martin. I believe that Damien Harris has the skill set to not only wiggle in between the tackles and bang with the big guys, but he can be shifty. He can do outside runs and pitches. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He can do it all. And what you get with Alabama running backs, Josh Jacobs, Najee Harris, Damien Harris, the list goes on, is just absolutely incredible athletes. And I think Damien Harris has showcased that during his time in Alabama, as well as what he did last year for the Patriots. Now with Sony Michel gone, I believe that he's going to have everything at his disposal to be the number one running back for this franchise.
Damien Harris is not going to be the only breakout for the New England Patriots this season, as I have Mack Jones, Michael McCorkle Jones, being an NFL breakout, a massive player in the NFL this season. He stole the job from Cam Newton in a surprise, but it's going to be known very soon why he stole that job. Mack Jones has been dynamite so far in the preseason and through training camp, and that is only the beginning. He is going to find lightning with these new weapons the Patriots have brought in, and Mack Jones is going to pick up right where he left off in the national championship game. He is ready to lead this team back to the promised land. It's going to be like Tom Brady never left, except this time it's with 22-year-old Mack Jones, and this is where we see Mack Jones reigniting the fire underneath this dynasty. Mack Jones is going to be an absolute breakout this season.
The last time Bill Belichick wanted to start a rookie quarterback, it was Tom Brady, but he was held back by ownership. I think Mack Jones is going to be in some pretty good hands. Next up for me, I have tight end Kyle Pitts of the Atlanta Falcons. Kyle Pitts came into this draft as one of the most highly regarded athletes that we had to offer. And we take a look at what Kyle Pitts did in college and honestly what he had around him. And he was clearly the number one athletic person on the field any given week. And what we saw was not only a tight end that can go up and get the ball at any point in time, but a guy who can really be a factor in blocking in the run game. He can help out on so many different fronts. I've compared him in the past to players like George Kittle and Darren Waller. I think he's a mix of all of these guys, including Travis Kelce and a little bit of Mark Andrews. I think he is going to be the number one tight end in the NFL. And it may not happen this year, but I think he's going to be in the top 5 by the end of the season. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's closer to number 1 than we all think.
For my final NFL breakout, I'm switching things up. I'm sticking with the rookies, but I'm going to the defensive side of the ball. This time I'm going with cornerback J.C. Horn out of Carolina. J.C. Horn was the first cornerback taken in the draft, and for good reason. He comes from great bloodlines, his father being Joe Horn, the big wide receiver from the New Orleans Saints. J.C. Horn came onto the scene early in OTAs where he was picking off Sam Darnold, making big plays around big names like DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson, and he's been practicing against these guys all training camp long. He's just getting better from here. His speed, his athleticism, his quickness, it is going to show up. It is going to be a big part of this Carolina defense, and I think J.C. Horn is going to follow in the path of guys like Josh Norman and James Bradbury. J.C. Horn is going to fit that mold. Carolina knows how to draft corners. This is one of their guys. They know what they're getting in him, and he is going to be one of the top cornerbacks in the NFL by the end of this season.
No doubt. I think J.C. Horn is just one of those guys that he really showed up on film coming out of the University of South Carolina. And what we've seen from the University of South Carolina is that they produce really good DBs. So I'm excited for J.C. Horn. My final breakout for this year is a running back by the name of Antonio Gibson. Antonio Gibson was a wide receiver in college, but now as a running back for the Washington football team, he's going to be depended on to really carry the load for this roster. They've thinned out a bit in Washington at the running back position, and offset by J.D. McKissick, Antonio Gibson is going to be one of those guys that can run, catch, and do a little bit of everything for this offense. I think he's going to be relied upon on the outside. He's going to get some shots on the inside. And then on top of the fact that he's going to be the leading rusher for this team, bodes really well for him. I expect him to have at least 13 to 1,500 yards rushing and about 1,000 yards receiving. This guy's going to be incredible, and he's going to be the security blanket that Ryan Fitzpatrick has been looking for in Washington.
All right, guys, I want to hear from you. Who do you have as your NFL breakout? You heard from us. Now we want to hear from you. Let us know in the comments down below. We'll get back to you. Let us know. It's going to be a fun season. It's all about those breakouts.
All right, well, that's going to be all for now. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. We go live every single day. That'll be all. Peace and love.